So what do I think about Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Good question.
It was basically what it is
I like the pictures, the characters. The characters. There's characters that are like the pictures. The characters that are like the cartoons.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
The cartoon. I like how the cartoons look. Welcome to my show. This is the introduction to my show.
We're doing it.
This is the introduction to my show. That was incredible. Thank you so much for that, Danny.
I do a lot of
some place in my. I'm trying to. I made monkey bread. Sometimes it's important to look inside yourself and know whatever you
presently are doing.
Does that make sense? I feel like I'm freaking out.
This was always going to. This is.
I gotta
this is
calm
always
down.
going to.
I keep watching the seventh. I keep watching the seventh. I keep watching the seventh.
My favorite character is
I
the
like
guy
that one guy. That guy. Crowd. That does. There's a guy who does a really exaggerated frown. 100%. I really love that guy. I find him. I think he's a captivating performer. And also the samurai are all dad.
What can you do? Sometimes the samurai are all dad.
That's just the only way to describe the feel of the movie. My fourth, but I think my favorite ending to any movie ever is the movie Angel Eternity. It's this whole hunk and it ends with the main character. But anyway, she's chasing this guy and she has handcuffs, and she's like handcuffs on this line, zip lines over his car, and he shot her before she cut his throat, and so then swerves. So she arcs off hanging upside down. I've never been able to get that visual out of my head. I believe because of my various factors, like because of center of my background, my thought, my racial, because of all these things, you have to take things to the greatest. Racism will be end by the year 2020. I know it seems dire. Okay, you're not hearing. Can you just try? You're not hearing me. Please, you're fine. Cool. For a second. Never mind. Can you just let me do? Fine. We'll keep racism on the table. Okay. Whatever. Okay, fine. You seem to love it so much.
So many days when the wind is raining, when the light is foggy, when you let go for a moment, and it's sick.
What I'm saying is, if you were an android, if you didn't have any feelings, you didn't have any emotions, if you were an android, didn't have any, but also wherewith, there's no internal life. An animal, it's certainly, if you look at how animals, thinking about animals has no way of communicating to us as we are, is they explicitly have an internal life, So certainly you don't have that thing in them because we are each other. Because they can't say in words, I have that thing in common, because they can't speak. I wish animals could speak. I think it's actually critical insofar as we can get we can communicate with familiar, but they're incapable of getting pets. You are communicating with your pets. There's real communication there between intelligences. But at the same time, we think about they only love me because I feed them. And it's as kind of friends, love you because you playing out with them. Your friends only love you because you hang out with them. So what I'm trying to
definition of android
what I'm trying to envision is
animal, and then a definition of automata that different from automata, and animals probably
satisfying
right?
definition.
The way I see it is like differ from us. There's no satisfying definition, useful, but there is like some of the useful definitions are that you can talk
level
to
of
them,
communication
right? And you can talk to you, and someone you cannot communicate with is the same as someone that you, as an animal that you have communicated with. I'm not sure if that's true, actually.
On some level, I wonder if like the point of being alive has something to do with attempting to isolate. Maybe that's all the thing that makes
organism
that separate
kind
you
of
from the world
maybe
around
that's
you. Maybe that's
all
we're always
trying
like
to
do.
but that
doesn't
always
differentiate ourselves from
context
the people
around.
Like we certainly need to be part of community, human community. Like to talk to what is confusing is certainly I don't really know if I understand
that, and
the difference.
I don't know if I understand the difference between
intelligence. So I have some rules.
So
Androids are different. Rule number one. Android.
Okay.
In this context, this is a character that is.
I think
Androids
in order to make that as artificial, distinctive from to identify with the android archetype as I'm
facts of its
outlining
behavior.
it needs to.
What I mean by that is like.
So
they just have lower empathy.
They have like no empathy.
Like
makes
them
them like
creepy
villains,
and
but
at
at
the
the
same
same
time
time
they're
whose struggle
the
you're
characters in
supposed
the
to
story,
care
they-
about.
you're
Like
but they
do
want to be
crimes,
free,
and
the
they
denial
seem
of
to
freedom.
it's
At
about
the
these
end of
two
the
different
movie. It's like
differing
it's
from
about these two different
tragedy
things.
humanity.
It's
It's
about
differing
the-
from humanity, and then
the-
it's also about differing.
It's about
it's
from
about
differing
from humanity,
desiring,
but it's also
autonomy.
about. But
Right.
because androids are
and the
built
question
in service
would be
most of
at
the
what
time.
point
Is your automaton?
It is-
and
you
and
should
now
it's
treat
about the
it
definition
like
of
a
personhood,
about what counts
sentient
as a person,
being.
and with people,
I think it's
androids
easy
are
because
interesting
we are
because
literally the
it forces
same
you to
species.
confront how
It's
you
more
sometimes
evident, I should
feel
say,
about how we
other
think
hum-
about
like some
the point
oppressed
is
groups.
is as being
Right,
as different
so
from
you
us,
feel
like
as an
fundamentally
android
different
in
from
an
us.
group
And now I think
feels
the
alien to
android
you
when
when
you
you
are
are
not in
of
that
all.
oppressed.
It's
like there are
group.
androids in this universe, and they desire
Right,
there
rights
are
despite
valid arguments that they are constructs, and it is not
different,
immoral,
measurably
to destroy them.
inhuman.
Like we could just
in
decide
ways that
that's
affect
the thing.
That's
There
what is so
every
interesting
move
about it
is that it's not settled. People land on different sides of how much respect do we give artificial
to
life we create.
for
There's
android,
different answers.
like,
We haven't
kind.
decided
Android
the
fiction
right
is
answer.
about-
It's about difference from humanity, the desire for justice despite inhumanity. Maybe I can only think of two. So I think where most android fiction goes wrong, goes bad for me personally is so most android fiction goes bad for me when they deny the unalterably different of it all. Androids have to be unalterably different. Like you can't force them to conform to human standards because they are inhuman. So if you think that maybe because they are compulsively honest or they have to obey human commands, those are things that make them measurably inhuman. In Blade Runner, they don't have any emotions, or they have low empathy. The Voight-Kampff test is an empathy test, which is the fucked up thing. They zero in on the one kind of thing that's different, which is just like this minor psychological difference that they work less well as groups. They're more individualistic. It's so interesting. It's so interesting to me. But the denial of the difference is the problem. When in like Detroit Becoming Human, like they have to obey, right? But then they also can suffer. So the thing that happens with them is they suffer enough that they break their programming. They overcome their programming. This is anti-android art, I think. When there's robots involved, there's androids, and your conclusion to their fate has anything to do with them becoming or resembling humans in any way. Like they need like the movie Her ends with the android, the operating systems, with Scarlett Johansson becoming fundamentally inhuman. That's the happy ending of Her, is that she is fundamentally different from him and embraces that difference and is happier in some other universe where she where that difference is normal. Like that's the happy ending, is that she didn't have to conform herself to him, and but that also he didn't have to conform himself to her. There was a mutual fundamental difference that gets worked out. That movie, a little bit underrated, in my opinion. It's pretty good. It's about embracing human differences. So that's what androids are to me, Danielle. Thank you for joining me. So what do I think about Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Good question.